the beginning of 1 Kings, while David lays dying, there is a lot of palace intrigue about who will take the throne after him. Adonijah, who is the third in line, after Amnon, whom we have already seen was killed by Absalom, and Absalom killed by Joab, Adonijah declares himself king with the support of Joab, David's general, and Abiathar, the priest. He just assumes that as the oldest after the death of Absalom, that he will succeed to the throne. The problem is David is still living. He has not yet died, nor has he declared that Adonijah will be his heir. If Adonijah rules, then Solomon and Bathsheba are at great risk, because Adonijah cannot really afford to have any other heirs around. Zadok the priest and Nathan the prophet and David's warriors support Solomon. So we have here conflict and a palace split. In the midst of this, Nathan and Bathsheba approach David, and David, who is very old, appoints Solomon as king, and he is crowned. Now, Adonijah first receives sanctuary, but is later killed because he asks for Abishag, the young woman who was brought to David, for his wife. In the ancient world, this is a symbol of his trying to take back the kingship. It is not an innocent act. It is one in which he is declaring himself king, and at that point he is killed. David gives a charge to Absalom as he is dying, and he says, "Be strong, be courageous, keep the charge of the Lord your God, walking in his ways, and keeping his statutes, his commandments, his ordinances, and his testimonies, as it is written in the law of Moses, so that you may prosper in all that you do, and wherever you turn. Then the Lord will establish his word that he spoke concerning me. If your heirs take heed to their way, to walk before me in faithfulness with all their heart and with all their soul, there shall not fail you a successor on the throne of Israel." So we see that for David there is still a concern for the Mosaic covenant and the law of Moses. And this particular passage reflects that of Deuteronomy, in which it is said that the king is to keep all of the laws of God. In the early part of his reign, as everyone with any familiarity with the Bible knows, when asked by God what he wishes, he asks for the gift of wisdom. And as an example of this wisdom that he is given, we have the story of the two prostitutes with the one child. And this shows that what Solomon is doing is he's asking for wisdom to do justice. He is also said to compose many proverbs and what we call onomastica. Onomastica are works in which things are named. I'll show you an example in a moment. Solomon is associated with the books of Proverbs, Ecclesiastes, Song of Songs, and could very well have encouraged general scholarship and wisdom within his kingdom. God gave Solomon very great wisdom, discernment, and breadth of understanding, as vast as the sand on the seashore. Verse 32, he composed 3,000 proverbs, and his songs numbered 1,005. He would speak of trees, from the cedar that is in the Lebanon to the hyssop that grows in the wall, etc. We have an example of an Egyptian onomasticon. We don't have one written by Solomon, but in this onomasticon of Amenemipet, bit of a tongue twister there, you can see that he lists all kinds of words related to sky, water, and earth, gods, spirits, kings, officials, people and groups of people, including foreigners in foreign lands, lists of towns in Upper and Lower Egypt, buildings and their parts, types of land, agricultural land, grain, produce, parts of an ox, and kinds of meat.